So last week or a couple of weeks ago, I did a video at an old dairy. It was a 2-cow walkthrough dairy. It was a video about how to shoot astrophotography with a couple of different apps, and it was a pretty cool video. I like shooting these old things around here, and luckily where we live there's a lot of history in this place, so there's a lot of old dairies that aren't being used anymore, and they make for some pretty cool and interesting photos. So I found another one. What we're going to do tonight is shoot the Moment app, the slow shutter app, and we'll see if we can throw in another one and see which one comes out best when it gets to astrophotography and light painting. Stick around. G'day guys, Shane Mostert here. I've been a photographer for about 10 years or so. I do weddings, family photo shoots, corporate work, all that sort of stuff. I also teach photography. I teach photography for astrophotography, how to take photos of the stars. And a couple of years ago, my wife said to me, well, why aren't you teaching people how to take photos on your phone? And I thought, who the hell does that? Well, turns out you do, I do, everyone bloody well does. So I started doing that. And when COVID hit, well, I thought I'll take all this online. I've combined my astrophotography knowledge with the mobile phone photography knowledge, and I'm bringing you this channel. It turns out there's a lot of you who are really interested in doing this sort of stuff. So if you're into mobile photography, especially the low light photography, subscribe to the channel. It's a growing channel. We're getting good followers here, and a lot of people are really engaged in the comments. So if you've got something that you're interested in learning, put a comment down below. Chances are I'm going to make a video about that in the not too distant future if it suits the channel. So subscribe to the channel and I'll see you twice a week. Let's get into it.
Lovers come, lovers go, and their hearts seem to change, but mine is still the same.
So this old dairy, this is actually on one of my neighbour's farms, and he acquired this land, well he bought this land when the existing farmer decided to pack it in. So the dairy that I went to last week was a 2-bale walk-through dairy, and they would have had maybe 20 or 30 cows in the yard, not many at all. This one's a bit bigger, it's a bit newer, still got some woodwork on the panels over here and over here. The yard here is concrete. I don't know, I'd say maybe 100, 150, maybe 200 tops cows in here. But this is clearly a dairy that's not used anymore, and I'll show you what I mean. So the cows would come in through here, and they'd walk either side of this area in here. Grain would fall in and the cows would get fed while they got milked, and the folks would jump down in there and milk the cows. So what is this? A 6-a-side? Yeah, there's 6 feed bins on either side, 6 at a time, so 12 cows in here at a time, compared to what else is on the farm over there, which is pretty modern. So back here, what have we got going on here? Well, like most old dairies, it's used for a bit of storage and stuff like that. What it means for us though, as photographers, it means that we've got this really cool old building to light up at night and take some cool astrophotography photos. So how's that? It might look like absolutely crap, but it will take a really cool photo. Let me explain why. First of all, we've got this window. So where I'm going to photograph from tonight is over there. The Milky Way will be up across the top of the dairy over here. So this window, and there's some holes down here where the farmer's obviously got some water and stuff coming out. And these slats of wood. These slats of wood will have little gaps in it. There might be some gaps at the top as well. And we won't know that until tonight when it's pitch black and I put some light inside here. Light will come through the window, it'll come through that hole up there. It'll be very effective. So not only will we put a light or a source of light inside the building whilst we photograph the stars from over that side, I will also move off to the side over this way and shine a torch across these slats of wood, it'll really make the texture shine out, just like on the video that I did with those train cabooses. I'll link up the top here as to what I'm talking about there, how to light paint that subject. I think this will actually take a pretty bloody good photo. See, one of the things that I look for when I'm looking for a subject out here in regional Victoria in Australia is looking for old machinery, old sheds, things like that, old fences, because they really do make a cool photo after the fact. So you look at this sort of thing during the daytime and you think it's just a rundown old barn. But at night time, with stars up behind it, some light painted on it, it will make a sensational photo. They're very cool buildings, I really like them.
My heart's not to blame, it's just the way it is. Like stone, I'm motionless in this world of stories. Oh, like stone, I'm fixed in a framework that is moving beyond my control. Like stone, I'm motionless in this world of stories. Oh, like stone, I'll be here forever, waiting for your call.
So let's have a quick chat about these apps. First of all, we're going to use the Moment app. Now, the Moment app is a bloody good app. It's a very versatile app. Moment are obviously famous for making their lenses that go onto smartphones and to filters and stuff for regular cameras. But I've tried it before for astrophotography and I found it to be wanting a little bit. Since then, there's been an update. It's got the light trail mode and things like that in there. So I'm pretty keen to see just how it works in this sort of scenario. I've got a feeling it'll be really good for light painting, but I'm still not sure it's going to be great for shooting the stars, but we'll test it. The other app that we're going to use is the slow shutter app, and I've used this pretty successfully in light painting before, but it tends to have this like jittery effect, like this feathering effect, when you're using a lot of movement in the lights. But we're not doing that tonight. We're going to have the light in the dairy shining out from within the dairy. I'm going to paint the outside of the dairy with light. So instead of actually making patterns with light, like I have in the other video that I've compared these two apps, I'm actually going to paint a subject with light. So the subject isn't moving. So we should get different results. The last thing I'll do is obviously take a photo with the native camera app, and we'll see in the same scenario, and we'll see what we can do. So with the slow shutter app, and we'll go through these apps tonight, you have bulb mode in the light trail mode on the slow shutter app. The Moment app has, in the regular camera, like the pro camera features on that app, maximum is 1 second. So that's not going to work. We'll need to go into light trails and motion blur, one of the presets on the Moment app, to get what we're trying to achieve tonight. Let's have a really quick chat about the gear that you're going to need. So we've got the apps, and I'll link them down the bottom there. To be honest, if you're watching this, you probably already know what the slow shutter app and the Moment app are. They're both good apps. You're going to need a tripod. The tripod is there because we're shooting for a long time. We're shooting this old building. It's going to be stationary. You're moving your camera around. It's going to be blurry. So you need a tripod and a phone holder and some lights. What lights do we use? Well, there's some torches, and I'll show you these torches now. This one here, this has got a dimmable feature on it. So when we're doing light painting with the phones, we shine the torch and then we have a look and we go, that's just too bloody bright. You need a way to dim that light down. I find these torches here to be really, really handy for dimming that light down because it's got adjustable brightness in it. On the lowest brightness, if you find still that it's too bright, and I find this occasionally when I've got a camera and I'm shooting astrophotography with a camera, a small amount of light goes a bloody long way. Whereas with phones, you can have a fair bit of light there and it will just soak it up. It's not nearly as sensitive as a proper camera. And the lights that I'm going to put inside the dairy here are the Lytra torches. I've reviewed these, and I'll link it up the top there. they're very good torch. They're very small, they fit in your pocket, and they're adjustable in brightness as well. All right, so that's all you need. The apps, tripod, phone holder, and some light source. Let's wait for night and we'll get into it. Alright guys, obviously it's night time now. Where I'm standing is right where we were this afternoon. I'll just get this torch turned on. Over behind me there is the wooden dairy. In front of that there, or between you and the dairy, is the camera on the tripod, or the phone on the tripod. So the tripod's there with the phone holder sitting on top of it. The Lytra torch I've put inside behind that window there. And already when I turn all the lights off, I can see lots of light coming out in the gaps of the wooden slats. So it'll be an interesting sort of photo. It'll certainly help with the focusing at night time, which can be quite difficult. So what I'll do, I'll set up the Moment app, light trails, 30 seconds, and we'll go through that and I'll show you how to do it. All right, let's set up this Moment app. All right, we're going to go into that now. Turn on that motion blur, change it up to 30 seconds. With the Moment app, you can see in the top there, you can change the lenses. We're going to leave it on the first one at the moment. The good thing about Moment app, we're here on the focus there, when we change the focus at night time especially, because we've got the lights in the building there, you'll see some green lights hopefully shortly, and that's the focus peaking. It'll anything that's in green will let you know it's in focus. It's a really handy tool, especially at night, to focus on the subject in the foreground. It's pretty good there. I quite like that. Yeah, that's really good. Well, now I'm going to change the ISO now. We'll bring the ISO up a little, probably around 400 to 500 I would think. You don't want to take it too high, it'll bring in too much noise. Go with 495 is it. And we'll hit the start button and we'll take some photos. So I'm just going to go over here and shine a little bit of light across the front of the building there and a little bit down the side, and that's all. We don't want any more light than that on there. The other settings that I've got set up here at the moment is the shutter speed is on 1 second. And that's it. That's the only other thing I've changed there. Alright, that's taken that photo by the look of that. Let's go and have a quick look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty well what I expected it to be. There's a little bit of starlight up in the sky there. That's really... yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the light coming through from the slats and stuff. You can see a bit of that. So that's actually not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, let's have a look at the slow shutter. Before we go any further with this, I want to talk briefly about the Moment app. One of the things that you can do, which most of the other apps that we use at night time can't do, is change the white balance. So it's in the same menu there. So I know a few of you guys have asked, can you change white balance? Well, you can with the Moment app. Is it good for astrophotography? I'm going to say it's not great. There were some stars in that photo, but there weren't a lot of stars in that photo. So we'll shoot, at the end of this, we'll shoot just the native camera app in the same settings, same setup, everything else, and we'll compare head to head what all these can do. All right, let's have a look at the slow shutter app. I'll open up the slow shutter app. First thing we're going to do here is go into the gear icon down the bottom, and we're going to go into low light mode. Now we're going to change the noise reduction to medium, 30 seconds, and ISO down around 500. I've got a short timer on this, so it's taking a photo right now, It's a 3-second timer. The shot's going to go for 30 seconds. I'm just going to shine some light. It's possibly a bit too bright. You can see it as it's building there. Yeah, I think that might be too bright. Let's have a look here. I'm just going to stop that, and we'll clear that, delete the photo. We're going to try that again. I think the torch that I've got going on is probably set up a little bit too bright. So I'll just reduce the power of that torch. And we're going again, and I'll shine some light. Not a great deal of light, just a small amount. It's actually looking pretty good. I put some in the foreground at the top there. That's brought out the peak of the roof quite nicely. I like how that looks. Now, I'm going to continue taking photos of this. You've got the option to clear, edit, or save it. If you take another photo like I am right here now, you can build onto that. You can add more light to it. So I'm going to light up some of the foreground, the green grass and stuff that's in the front here. And that's bringing it out pretty well. What I can already see on some of the sky here is some of that thatching that it's kind of known for. We're really pushing this app to the limit here at the moment. Put some more light over there, I think. Yep. It's done. Let's take another one. So we're building and building and building this photo. Now I want to put some more light on the side of the shed over here. And possibly a little bit over there. Yeah, that looks not too bad. Let's save that one, and I think that looks all right. Have a look at this photo. The thatching on this, which is always lines, it's really pushing the sensor hard. So look, it does okay. What I'm going to do is take a photo with the native camera app. What I'm going to do here, you don't have the option to change the lens on the native camera app and still get the night mode capabilities. So I'm going to set the exposure, lock the exposure, increase it, and we're taking a photo. Let's shine some light over here on the side there. I'll turn that off now. Now I think what we're going to get from this is more stars, because there's heaps of stars. We're going to get more stars, I think, with this photo than we have with the other two apps. It's done taking that photo. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, definitely more stars up there. There's even a plane up there. The plane's gone through and I didn't see it. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's the three apps, guys. You've got the slow shutter app, the moment app, and the native camera app. I think we'll all agree that the native camera app still kind of holds its own here. Let's put this into perspective though. Where I am is incredibly dark. We've got no light pollution. We're really lucky to have clear skies most of the year round. So this is a place that I can really test these apps and really push the limits on all of these apps. Now I've done these two apps before. I think what I've asked them to do here tonight though, they've both been pretty successful. I'm happy with all of them, to be honest. Once our lockdown is all well and truly done, I can actually get into the towns and the cities and do some light trails of cars and things like that and show you how they work with that. But as far as the astrophotography goes, well, that's not what we're doing here tonight. We're doing light painting on this old building behind me, and like I said, they work pretty well. In both of those apps, the moment app and the slow shutter app, you got stars there. When you compare those two photos to the native camera app on night mode, 30 seconds, it just kills it. It's better than all of them. And also don't forget, because some of you guys have asked for it, I'll actually put these photos onto my website. Website is phonephotoschool.com.au. Go over there, check it out. Lots of tutorials, and all the videos that I do are also on that website. So head over there, you'll see what they look like. You can download them yourself and really get nitpicky with them. And I think you'll all agree that for a phone camera, they're pretty good. If you want to know more about taking photos of the stars with your iPhone 11, check out this video here, and I'll see you guys next week.